Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Woollentwine Fiber Studio knitting podcast. My name is Jule, and I'm the dye and maker behind Woollentwine Fiber Studio, which is a small creative space located here in northern Germany, where I play with botanical dyes and natural yarns. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome to my little corner of the internet. Today I wanted to share a new knitting podcast episode with you, and it really has been a while since I've uploaded one. I don't even remember. I think it has been almost like 9 or 10 months. So yeah, I don't even know if I still remember how to do these kind of things, but I will do my very best to tell you a couple of things about what I've been up to, what I've been knitting on, and I kind of promised myself that 2025 will be the year where I actually make time for recording podcast episodes. Because for some reason, I don't know, I have just lost the recording mojo a little bit, mostly also because I have to record my colorway previews every month, and you know, that already is a lot of editing, and I think this kind of had lost steam kind of the recording, and yeah. But I kind of really miss sharing my knits with you and my projects. So I decided to try and record another episode. I have not included all of my projects that I've been working on since I have last posted, because I think that would have been a bit hilarious to be like, oh look, I've just finished this piece and it has been half a year since I did. So I don't know if I could even remember what I liked or did not like about the project. So I kind of thought this would not make sense. But I wanted to share about some recent projects with you, and also what I am planning to knit next, or at least like my rough sketches, and yeah, just in general update you on my knitting projects, kinda. So yeah, I'm really happy that you're here and can't wait to share my projects with you. I will add timestamps about the different sections, but overall this is going to be a pretty chatty video, just me sharing about what I've been up to. And maybe I should start with my project that I'm wearing. This is actually, like, I don't know if it has appeared on a podcast episode before, like properly, but this is my book club cardigan by Sari Nordlund, and it's a beautiful, classic, that's what I wanted to say, classic cable cardigan. But yeah, this is my book club cardigan, and I made this one out of my own yarn, in my colorway almond in the BFL Romney DK base with the corresponding cloud silk mohair. So yeah, this is technically like a light worsted weight gauge, I think, and I used a lighter DK with some mohair just to get gauge, and it's more like a light worsted. I think it's knit on 4.5 millimeter needles. So yeah, that's how I kind of compromised for that. I think the original version uses a woolen spun sport weight, which kind of is the same as like a worsted spun DK weight if it's more on the lighter side. So I decided to combine these two yarns, and I'm very happy with it. It's very warm, very cozy, and yeah, I kind of want to make another one in maybe like a light gray or something, or even a dark gray. Anyhow, I really loved this project. I was a test knitter for this, and I think it came out last year in the summer. I don't even really remember, but yeah, it's very beautiful and I really like wearing it. It's very classic and I love it. But yeah, that is not really counting as an FO. I just wanted to mention in case someone would be curious about it. And I love to pair this one with dresses, because it's also slightly on the cropped side, so it wears very well over dresses, in my opinion. I definitely want to make another one. Just need to decide on a color, because yeah, I'm very much into cables right now, which will also be visible when I show you my work in progress that I'm currently working on. But yeah, this one is my book club cardigan, and I really, really like it, and I can recommend the pattern. It's very beautiful. But yeah, without further ado, let me share some of my finished objects that I've been working on recently. I will try to share them maybe in like a chronological order, because some of you might have seen this one if you watch my preview videos. But this one is my knobber sweater knit also in my own yarn, which is our Shetland Welsh Mountain DK in the natural black colorway obsidian. This yarn is currently not available, I will say that, but I'm hoping to have it respun and maybe have it again this year. It's kind of like a rare breed spin, so I kind of have to check if I can get it again. But yeah, this is my knobber sweater, and actually I should tell a bit about a backstory of this one, because I wanted a very versatile, like easygoing sweater to showcase the yarn initially. And the problem was that most of the like very classic ones are by huge designers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I kind of like whenever I can to, you know, support smaller designers and maybe go for, you know, someone else than the really, really big names. There's nothing wrong, by the way. I will probably also knit some designs by bigger designers as well. It's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. But yeah, wherever I can, I try to showcase smaller designers too. And so this one is the knobber sweater by Reetta Knits. She's a Finnish knitwear designer, and this is like the perfect classic, very oversized, boxy fit sweater. And oh, there's a hair, sorry. That's one of the bad things about being blonde haired and having a black sweater. There's hairs everywhere, and this one has been well loved ever since I finished it. But yeah, it's very oversized drop shoulder design with a European shoulder shaping, and then just super boxy fit. And I really, really like it. I think it's just the perfect everyday sweater that you can wear over pretty much everything. And yeah, I don't know, I'm very satisfied with how it turned out. I did finish everything with a tubular bind off or Italian bind off, just because I think it looks so neat, and I love, even if things are very simple, when they are very neatly executed. Let's put it that way. So yeah, this one was one of those projects that, you know, just is so easy and soothing to knit. I just really enjoyed making it, and I'm wearing it quite a lot around the studio now that it's cold and wintry. And yeah, I can really, really recommend making this. I think next time I would even size down a little bit, because even though I wanted this to be really oversized, I think it's almost a bit too oversized. Like I could definitely go down a size to like a size 4. I made this in size 5. But I think next time I would go for a size 4. The pattern is not available on Ravelry. It's only available on Reetta's website. However, I will of course link it down below. Anyhow, that's my knobber, and I absolutely love knitting it. It's just plain stockinette and very perfect TV knitting, kind of. Just at the end it gets really big, so you cannot really carry it around anymore, which is also why I usually always have a sock project on the go. I should definitely get another sock project going. But I have been knitting socks over the past months, and the ones I finished I wanted to show to you. So without further ado, this is my first one, and I should maybe put a disclaimer. If you are part of the Kura Socks mystery knit along, maybe skip the next section, because I'm going to show the finished sock. If you haven't finished yours and you would like it to keep it a secret, here's a little disclaimer. But yeah, this is my Kura sock. It looks a bit more orange in the camera, I feel, a little bit. But yeah, this is the Kura sock. It's in the colorway cardamom in my ovis sock yarn, my own plastic-free sock yarn, and these were part of the mystery knit along that I hosted together with my friend Jule, who's a very talented knitwear designer, as you can see from this absolutely gorgeous pattern. I don't know if you can see, but there are so many cables, and also even the back of the heel is cabled, and it all like flows very nicely. It's an overall very, very beautiful pattern. I'm gonna check if I can actually put down the light a little bit, because I feel this is not showing off very well. But yeah, this pattern has a lot of cables, and it's very intricate and artistic, I think, but it's a lot of fun to knit. And the main inspiration behind all the cables and all the texture was that the mystery knit along is supposed to stay really engaging. And so Jona wanted to make every clue of the mystery knit along that would come out very engaging and fun. And I think he did very well in this. At least I had a lot of fun making these. They were done in no time just because I could not stop and I wanted to, you know, it was this kind of, oh, I want to finish the chart, I want to finish this one. And I don't know, I found it very engaging. I've also been wearing these quite a bit, so I hope that it doesn't look too worn out. But I've been wearing them quite a bit around the studio while it was cold these last couple of weeks, and yeah, I can say that I really, really like them. So yeah, these are my Gura socks. The pattern is now available on Ravelry now that the mystery knit along is over, and you can purchase it as a regular pattern from Jonas Ravelry, and I will of course also link everything down below. So far about those, and I've also made another pair of socks. I'm sorry, I'm only showing one. Oh, I should have brought the second one. Well, anyhow, this is the second sock that I was working on, and these are the tupa socks. Tupa means cottage in Finnish language, and they are by Ronja Hakalehto, and they are beautiful colorwork socks with three colors, also designed in our ovis sock base. And I was a test knitter for this because it was part of our festive winter box. So yeah, these are the tupa socks, and I feel like, at least from the feedback I've gotten over the past weeks, that you really love this pattern. And I actually did too. The fun about this is that the colorwork is very beginner friendly, I would say. And I really enjoyed making it because it's, most of the time, it has very like narrow stitch repeats, so you don't have to catch your floats very often. So yeah, and for these type of socks, if you're using non-superwash and no nylon yarn, I think it's especially beginner friendly because those type of yarns will probably even out a little bit more than a nylon containing yarn or something like that would be. And yeah, I used 3 colors, this kind of brick pinky red that's called Dahlia. Then I used this dark, deep reddish brown that's called Auburn, and sand, which is like a neutral beige. And I think they turned out so nice. I'm currently thinking I want to make another pair for my partner, because I think actually this pattern is very like unisex with how it's designed, and I kind of want to make a version with just like neutral shades, so maybe with a gray or a beige, and then a brownish tone and maybe a rust or something. I'm not sure, or maybe an olive could also be nice. Anyhow, I definitely need to make another pair for my partner, who constantly always has cold feet. So I want to make him another pair, and I want to make them in like a neutral color combo. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below if you like, but I think it would be very nice. So yeah, my tupa socks. I can wholeheartedly recommend the pattern. It's a lot of fun to knit and also very easy to wear. So if you're not really keen with having a lot of cables, like with this one, this is actually very smooth and yeah, also very warm because of the color work. It adds kind of an extra layer of warmth. So yeah, these are my tupa socks and I really, really like them. So next up, I want to share my works in progress with you. Which one am I going to start with? Maybe this one. So I'm currently lucky to be participating in a test knit by Laura Penrose, who is a wonderful knitwear designer. And my current work in progress is in my little present to myself that I gave to myself last year. So it is housed in this currently very full Hide and Hammer bag. And if you don't know Hide and Hammer, it's a brand from the UK, and Nu is like the owner of the brand. And they make these beautiful project bags with a roll top. This is kind of like their iconic shape with the roll top. And they usually make it in like a canvas and oilskin type of fabrics, but every now and then they make these beautiful leather ones. And ever since I saw it for the first time, I was in love. And I've been wanting to get one, but they are quite pricey. They are all hand sewn from just leather, so they are an investment. And I was really hesitant, but yeah, I've been wanting this for years. And last year was kind of a quite tough year for me. Like nothing serious, but it was just a lot of work and a lot of, yeah, it was a tough year. So I decided to treat myself to something, and it was this bag. So I got myself one of the leather Hide and Hammer bags. And yeah, if you didn't have the chance to check them yet, I can wholeheartedly recommend. I also own one of their classic roll tops in the black oilskin. No, is it oilskin or is it canvas? I have to admit, I don't really know. But I will link it down below, the model that I also have. But yeah, they are super versatile and I love them because you can not only carry your, even if they're very big, your knits around, but the good thing about it is that you can actually also knit from it. Like it unfolds or rolls, and then it also, you can just put it next to yourself, and you know, the opening is really wide and you can just keep your skeins in there and then use it as like kind of a knitting basket, which I find very, very handy. And every time I open this, I get so happy because it's, you know, because it's made of leather only, it smells so good. I just love it. Anyhow, I use this bag often for my like really large projects because it holds a lot of space. But if I take it out of here now, I can show you that you can actually also roll it even lower like this. You can roll it like twice. Let me check. And then it gets even smaller. So it kind of grows with your project, which I find very cool. And yeah, by the way, this is not sponsored or anything. I have bought this with my own money. I did not get any kind of sponsoring or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase this beauty because yeah, I have been having this for a couple of months, hence also the slight patina that it has grown. But yeah, it makes me super happy. It even, I don't know if I can show this, but it even has some inner pockets with, some space for things that you can put into. And it's just really, really handy. So yeah, wholeheartedly recommending Nu's bags. They are very, very nice and also very well known. Probably most of you will know this already. But I still wanted to showcase it because it makes me very, very happy. But onto my work in progress that I wanted to show that was in the bag. Ooh, this is going to be a bit of a challenge to show because it's quite big. But this is my Midland cardigan. Whoops, let me drop this. This is my Midland cardigan by Penrose, and this pattern is not out yet. It's still in testing. Oof, quite big. I hope this kind of shows. But yeah, it's a full-on garter stitch cardigan that actually has a very interesting construction. I will tell you a bit more about this once I figured how to show this kinda. But yeah, I'm currently working on the second sleeve. But yeah, it's almost done. I'm almost finished, and I will make sure to share it once it's finished. But yeah, it has a really interesting construction because you actually start from one side of the from one side at the shoulder kind of, and then you knit horizontally to the other side, shape the front, then you knit the back, and then you pick up stitches again for the front. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it actually looks really nice, and that way the garter stitch actually flows vertically, like the ridges flow vertically instead of horizontally, and that is something very unique, and I really like it. And yeah, I'm currently working on the second sleeve, and I have a couple of days to finish this. I should be able to finish in time. And it also features this beautiful, I don't know if that's actually visible right now, but it features this very nice double knitted button band. And this is actually giving the whole thing its structure according to the designer. And I can definitely see that it holds like the garter ridges quite in place. I also went for an Italian tubular bind off for this one because I wanted it to be very neat. And yeah, it took me some time, but it's definitely worth it, I believe. And it also has this very nice faux seam going on that is actually following down all the way to the sleeves up until the cuffs. And I think it's just a very cool construction. There are two options in the pattern where you can either have a seamless cast on, so the whole thing actually is going to end up as a seamless garment. What is even going on here? But you can also do the kind of seamed cast on. And if you want to do the seamed version, you can actually adapt the armhole depth, which I found very genius because oftentimes I feel there is not enough positive ease in the sleeves of garments for drop shoulders, and that might also just be me because I am a yarn dyer and my arms are probably wider in comparison to my chest than it is for most people, just because I have a lot of biceps. But yeah, I really like that option, and so I seamed the sides that you can see here with mattress stitch. I think it will also block out even more. So I think you won't even see much of it. And then I picked up for, I think even a size 7 instead of a size 5, which the whole garment is in. So yeah, it ended up feeling as if it would fit me better. And I really liked having the option. So yeah, this is definitely a very nice project. Now I'm trying to finish up this sleeve. Oh, I should maybe mention what yarn this actually is. This is my own yarn, and this is my Shetland Romney DK base, which is currently unavailable, but I'm hoping to have it respun for later this year. And it's the undyed oatmeal color, which is like a dark oatmeal beige shade. And yeah, this is now the sleeve, and I think I should be able to finish by the end of the weekend, maybe. And what I'm using here for the first time, which is actually quite cool, I don't know if you can see, but there is a little chain, and this is one of the manual row counters. I have not used one of these kind of things before, and I think it's quite cool. So how this works is actually that you, with every row that you knit, you slip one of these little rings further, so you can actually count what row you're in. And I think for sleeve decreases, where you have to, I don't know, decrease every 6 or 8 rows, it's quite handy. I have never used one before. I think it's more popular in other regions, but how I learned how to knit, it was not really popular. And I find this super handy. Like, I don't have to have a row counter with me additionally. And yeah, this one particularly is by knits.fi, which is a notions maker in Finland. The owner of Knits is called Cindy, and she's also an all over lovely human. And this one was actually part of her advent calendar that I got kindly gifted by her last year. So yeah, definitely bringing it to good use. But yeah, this is very, very helpful, and I can recommend their stitch markers and notions overall. Not saying this because it was gifted. I'm genuinely interested in using this further, because it's actually really, really helpful. And I don't know, I was really hesitant before because I thought it might be snagging on yarn, or I don't know, it might bother me. But honestly, I find this so much more helpful, because especially with row counters, those little clicky ones, I don't know, I tend to forget to click, and then I don't know what row I'm on, and I have to count, and then I'm not 100% sure if I'm on the decreased round or not. But this one is actually, because you have to slip it, like you get to it, you have to slip it. So if you're like me and you usually tend to forget to click your row counters, or I don't know, make a note or something, then these are very handy. So yeah, my little row counter here, and this is my Midland cardigan, that I'm very happy with so far. It has a million ends to weave in, and I'm sorry if it looks a bit weird right now because it's just bunched up, but I promise I'm gonna share some pictures of it once it's done. And I'm very excited to wear it too, because it's very warm and squishy. So yeah, I don't know how much yarn I used from on top of my head. But I'm gonna update you on that later once I've finished it. But I think so far I should be very close to what the pattern calls for. And I don't know the official release date of the cardigan yet, but maybe keep an eye out for Laura Penrose's Instagram or newsletter. I don't know if she has one, but definitely check her out and get ready for the release, because I think it should be relatively soon. So yeah, that is my first work in progress, my Midland cardigan. Let's move on to the next one. Before I move on, I have one thing that I also wanted to check with you, because one thing I'm very particular about and find extremely hard is buttons. And for the Midland cardigan, I have 4 button types, and I wonder what I should use. So maybe you can help me. I can try if I can hold the cardigan up, and you can maybe see the buttons next to it. So this is my first option. This is like a brown Caroso type of button that I got last year at Barcelona Knits. This is one option that I really like. Next up, I have this, and it's more of like a muted lighter beige with brown bits. I don't know if it's even visible, maybe like this. Then I have a third option, and that's this one, like a shiny light one. I like this one actually. And lastly, I have these brass metal ones, and I love those. Look at the sheen in the lights. Yeah, let me know which one's your favorite. I have slight favorites, but I'm not sure yet, so maybe you can help me, and if you'd like to share your opinion, let me know. But yeah, so far about my Midland cardigan. Now I'm gonna show you my other work in progress. So for my next work in progress, I have this housed in this little linen bento bag that I had for my little virtual Jule market in December. I had these in 3 colors, and yeah, now we actually have some of these left. I think 2 or 3 are still left of these. And they are made out of an unbleached natural linen color. Let me untwist them. They are also lined, and they are very great as a project bag because you can also just keep it open like this and put it into your knitting basket and, you know, just knit from there. And then if you want to take it, you can just tie them and, you know, have it portable like this. And actually, we're currently running a little sale for the New Year's, also to, you know, say thank you for your support in 2024 and for, you know, for being there and continuously showing up and supporting this little business. So I wanted to say thank you, and there is a little 15% off sale going on at the moment until January 12th. At 11 p.m. CET in my shop. So if you want to snag one of those, I think there are like 2 or 3 left. I don't know if there will be by the time this video goes up, but if it does, feel free to yeah, take advantage of the sale. If not, I'm gonna keep them all. No, just kidding. But this one houses my current work in progress, and some of you might have seen this one on my Instagram recently. Because I have been posting about this. It was a bit of a journey to find a good pattern for what I had envisioned, because I wanted a really good classic white cabled cardigan, a bit like the book club, but you know, I made this one already, so I kind of wanted an alternative. And yeah, I ended up casting on for the Folklore cardigan by Amy Gunderson. I'm gonna link everything down below. But this is a very classic cabled cardigan, and it's knit in pieces, which, you know, after having the Midland cardigan on my needles, that actually currently is quite big and not really portable. I wanted something less bulky, and I wanted something that I could take to the studio back and forth. And yeah, trust me, the Midland cardigan was too big. I found that out this morning when I took it to the studio with me. I felt like I'm moving out or something. But yeah, I had this, I wanted something portable, and so I made a seamed garment again. And this is weird to show now because I only have the pieces, but these are the sleeves. I made 2 of this already. They are not blocked yet, but you can see that it features this beautiful classic cable design with the diamonds in the middle and then some more cables on the sides and moss stitch on the outside. So they are going to be seamed, and then they're going to look like this with the diamonds on top of the sleeve. But yeah, I finished 2 of the sleeves so far, and I've just cast on for the first front piece, which I made a couple of changes to. First of all, I'm not really sure if this is also in the pattern. I don't think so. But I did tubular cast on for all of the pieces just because I thought, you know, it's less of a pain if it's in pieces to, you know, cast on with a tubular cast on. And I think it's always adding a little finished, polished edge. Is it even focusing? Let me try. To the garment. But yeah, this is now the first front piece, and it will be, here is gonna be the button band, so it will feature this big cable in the front, and then it will have moss stitch and smaller cables for the rest of the front piece. So yeah, this is also knitted bottom up. So what I'm currently contemplating is whether I should crop it or have it like a really oversized and really like big cardigan. I'm a bit unsure yet, but I have a few more centimeters to go, so I can still decide. But this is actually quite nice that you can, you know, just think on how much shorter you want it to have, and then just imagine how much less of the straight knitting you have to do at the bottom. Of course, it's not as convenient as just knitting it in one piece and trying it on, but I think, yeah, envisioning the fit is also quite doable, especially because the pattern also provides you with the measurements in inches only, though, which is a bit hard for me as a European, but you know, there are so many tools out there to just check how many inches, how many centimeters are and such, so it's not that hard. But yeah, I'm currently thinking whether I should crop or do full length. If you have an opinion, let me know, because it's gonna be, with the size I chose, it's gonna be quite boxy. Like you can see, this is one front, so there is quite some space. Because I wanted it to be, initially I thought of this to be like oversized and full length, but I can also imagine it to be boxy. But on the other side, my book club cardigan also is a bit cropped already, so yeah, I'm very undecided, as you can see. But yeah, I made some modifications, because in the original pattern there's an additional purl stitch next to the cable, and to be honest, this kind of looked asymmetrical to me, so it was only on one side of each of the cables, and for some reason it kind of bothered me, so I dropped the stitch and actually changed it to moss stitch, so it would be more symmetrical. But yeah, it was probably just personal preference. But yeah, I just really enjoy working on this. It's kind of, I don't know, I was craving, especially after knitting on just plain garter stitch for a while, I was craving something more complicated, and you know, I'm really into cables right now. I don't know what it is, but I'm just really enjoying cables. So this was just a lot of fun to do so far. And the yarn I'm using, I can show in this very ungraceful state of being a bit of a messy ball. This is a new yarn that's actually coming soon. A new kind of limited edition new yarn. I very rarely do white yarns, and it kind of is a refresher in my palette, I feel. I don't know, it was also really fun to, you know, see my vision come to life, because when I saw the skeins for the first time, I was like, this is giving me 90s flannel shirts, old school cables, kind of crisp autumn leaves vibes. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was the vision I had. And oftentimes this is how it works with my brain, that I see a yarn and I actually have a pretty clear vision of how even I would photograph it technically. And, you know, this is how the vision kind of is now unfurling, that I'm making this very classic cardigan with just pure ecru white. And yeah, I'm very happy with how it's turning out so far. And I can't wait to continue on this. However, I'm gonna finish my midland cardigan first. So, but yeah, this is the folklore cardigan. But yeah, this was actually like quite kind of the vibe I was going for, like this type of folklore old school cable cardigan. So yeah, absolutely loving working on this, and I can't wait to continue. Oh, by the way, I'm using 4mm needles, so this is kind of a lighter DK weight yarn. And I have to say that I realized that there are a lot of patterns in this kind of old school style, but only in Aran weight or like in heavier weights. And for me, this might be very personal, but I don't enjoy working with needles that are much larger than 4.5mm. So usually I go for 5 max. Like I would never go. This is already uncomfortable for me, probably. Like the 5mm are already uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but I just prefer lighter yarns. Don't know if that's just me. But yeah, I can see kind of like also a trend coming up that it's more that the DK weight is kind of not replaced, but it has a lot of worsted and Aran weight options currently with a lot of patterns coming out. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I don't know. It's not really for me. I prefer to stick around like the 3.75 to 4mm needles. That's usually my sweet spot. So yeah, I prefer the thinner needles. Yeah, so far about my current works in progress. I don't think I have anything else. No. So yeah, let me continue with my future knitting plans now. I currently have 2 things that I want to cast on next. One of them being a sample for another new yarn that's about to come out, and I'm gonna sneak peek it to you here. This is the new yarn, and I've just dyed a test on it. Not gonna show it to you in depth yet, but I dyed this in this beautiful red brownish maroony color for a sample that I want to knit. And yeah, I have not finally decided on it, although I think it's gonna be more of like a plain sweater probably. But yeah, stay tuned. This is going to be my next cast on. I kind of want to try and apply for the matcha sweater by my friend Ines of Vadknit. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's like a super nice, plain, but still cool details type of pattern. It's a sweater, and I think, yeah, if the gauge would work, I think it would be a really cool option to showcase this. So let's see if I can get accepted for the test once the call is out. But yeah, definitely kind of like a plain, easy sweater that would probably in stockinette stitch that would showcase the structure of the yarn well. At least that's the plan for now, but sometimes it also changes, so I don't know. But that's the plan to cast on next. And also what I want to make, because I want to make a hat for my partner who is, he's wearing a buzz cut, very short hair. And so around this time of year, I feel like he cannot have enough hats. And so I want to make him another hat, and I want to I want to knit this in this yarn that I got. What is even? The sun's coming out in like a really weird way through the clouds right now, so I don't know if that's a bit weird. But I want to make it in this yarn that I picked up. Let me try to control the lighting situation a little bit right now. It's not very pleasant. But yeah, this is a yarn by my friend Laura of Mimosa, Café, Lanar. I'm probably butchering the name, excuse me. But yeah, she has a yarn shop, and I think last year she got her first yarn spun, and it's called cottagecore. And it's a woolen spun, but very soft Spanish wool, sustainably produced, locally produced yarn. And I got the undyed shade, 2 skeins. It's a fingering weight, I believe. Yeah, kind of sport fingering, 175 meters per 50 grams. So I have approximately 350 grams, 350 meters of this. So yeah, it's gonna be rather more of like a short kind of beanie type of hat, but yeah, I think it's gonna be very warm because this yarn feels like typically woolen spun tacky warm, but very beautiful. And yeah, I really like it. I have been wanting to see this in person for the longest time, and so when I visited my friend's booth at Barcelona Knits, I had to get it. So this is the cottagecore yarn. I got it, again, with my own money, not sponsored or anything. I just want to share things that I really, really genuinely like. And yeah, I just love this one. So yeah, this is going to turn into a hat for my partner, again, because I suppose I will not knit the other sample in pieces that I was just telling you about. So I figured I will need another portable project. So this is going to be it. I haven't decided on a pattern yet. So if you have any recommendations or, I don't know, inspiration after seeing the yarn, let me know. But yeah, maybe I'll just freestyle it. I don't know yet, but I actually have been loving to knit hats from the crown down, because especially if you don't know how long you can go with the yarn, it's very helpful to, you know, just knit as long as the yarn lasts and then cast off, and then, you know, you have the length that is maximum from what you can get from the yarn. So I really like that idea. And yeah, it's a fingering weight, but I could also hold it double. So yeah, just in case. If you know a top-down hat pattern in either fingering or DK weight yarn, let me know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with this. Yeah, but I think this is it about my knitting plans. I'm gonna check my notes if I forgot anything that I haven't shared from my knitting plans. No, I think that's everything. But what I wanted to also like catch up with you on in general, that we're now talking about like pattern recommendations and such. I'm going to be traveling a lot in 2025, and I will need a lot of travel-friendly projects. So mainly kind of like plain patterns that don't require too much attention, because I will be, you know, when I'm on the go, and I might be also with friends in most of the situations, or at least not able to follow like a complicated chart. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for great travel projects that I could consider, that would be great. I will also take socks, but most of the trips I'm going on are a week to 2.5 weeks. So that might not be enough knitting. Like a pair of socks I can do pretty quickly, so I will always need something larger to be taking. So probably shawls, accessories. And I just thought I would ask you if you have recommendations, or if there is something you would like me to sample knit in one of my own yarns, because it's always super interesting to have your input, because I can always have my own thoughts and my own ideas, but it's super helpful to have your input, just in case there's something particular you'd like to see me knit. I'm very open for suggestions right now. But yeah, so far about travel knits and all that, I was also wondering if you're interested in me like documenting the travels, because some of them are really, really exciting, and yeah, also knitting related. So let me know in what kind of format you'd like to see me take you along. I could try to kind of like a vlog style. I don't know if I could actually go out and about and film myself, but let's, if that's something you're interested in, let's see. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on whether you're interested in me documenting my travels. Let me know. And yeah, one of the things I also wanted to update you about is, speaking of travels, I decided kind of on a whim, after being a fully digital planner for the last 5 years, I want to be planning on paper again and starting to kind of journal, because I don't know about you, but for me, I always thought that, my work and when I started my business and I was still in uni and I had another side job and I had my own business, I kind of thought it would be too complex to plan on paper for these kind of things. But over the past years, I feel like I have lost track on some things, and that the planning was not as efficient as it could have been. And I kind of want to be more reflected and take more time for the planning and the organizing, and, also to help me stick to my boundaries maybe a bit more, because I have a feeling I generally have the tendency to take on too many projects and to expect too much of myself. And I don't know, I just thought it would be helpful for me to plan things out on paper a bit more meticulously and a bit more, I don't know, I feel it feels more serious on paper than it does digitally. And I thought that by having, some more plans on paper and also starting to kind of dabble into journaling a little bit, I thought it might also be helpful to reflect on things more and, overall also spend more time with, my planning and organization, which I hope will help me be more in the moment sometimes. But yeah, I'm currently setting up a kind of system on how to also plan my sample knitting and my private knitting. So let me know if it's interesting and if I should, update you in a video about the system that I'm currently working on. I mean, these kind of things are always highly individual, but, for me, I realized I need the visual aspect of planning, especially for my knits and samples, because of what I just told you, that I have very strong visions about how I want things to look sometimes. And I don't know, I kind of lose track whenever I write down or I bookmark a post on Instagram about something I like, or I want to keep, I want to remember a certain pattern that I just come across somehow. I don't know, for me, it's not enough to write down the pattern name or bookmark an Instagram post or something. I wonder if it actually works. Like, I kind of want to visualize things more, and also kind of see a color scheme together. I'm a very visual person in general, so I have thought of a system on how I can execute my sample knitting and my knitting notes in general. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I don't know if it's, a bit too technical, or I don't know. I just want to ask if this is something you're interested in, because I feel like there is kind of a lot of people in the knitting community that also are into journaling and these kind of things in general. So yeah, let me know if that's interesting for you. I'm really excited to try this new technique, and if it can stick. I hope it will stick, because I also feel what I have lost over the years of being fully digital is that I enjoy the haptics and also the look and aesthetic of paper products. So I hope that by, taking more time and spending more time with my planning on paper and also making it look aesthetically pleasing to myself, I hope that I will be able to stick to that routine more. I don't know. But this year I also felt like making some proper New Year's resolutions. So this is one of them. Changing my planning system and reflecting more on also the projects that I'm working on, because I get to work with so many wonderful creatives, and I get to kind of live my dream job. And sometimes I feel like the months are just passing by and it's just going so quickly. And I feel like I want to reflect more on some things. And I hope that this type of new system will help me with that. So let me know if that's any interesting. And sorry about rambling about this so much, but I kind of felt the need to update you on a couple of things, and this is one of them. So while I was editing this video, the parcel with my new journal actually arrived, and I thought I would include a little cozy unboxing video of my new traveler's notebook that I'm going to use to journal and plan on paper for 2025. Hope you enjoy. So the last thing I wanted to check on is like a little bit more business related. And I thought I would still address it here quickly because, you know, I wanted to make this available to a wide audience. And while I wanted to, you know, keep your company cozily in this video, most of the time, feel free to skip this little admin section if you like, but I just wanted to mention that I am going to be working on a new website soon, mainly because I feel like the old one, it's still working and everything, but I feel like there are a couple of things that I could tweak and optimize. And also we have a new law situation here in Germany where we are needing some updates in terms of accessibility of websites, and you know, in order to be compliant, I have to change a couple of things. And so I'm taking this opportunity to update a few things. I don't have a proper time schedule yet because there are a few things to figure out first. But one thing I need for this that I cannot do myself is I'm in the need of someone to take photos for this website for me. And so, yeah, this is kind of like a job offer. Hi. So if you know someone who you think would be a good match for my photography aesthetics and my overall aesthetics, or if you are that one, please don't hesitate to reach out. Best would be via email. I will put that down below. But yeah, I'm seeking a photographer for new website photos. It would probably be one shooting, paid, of course, like it's a regular job offer currently. But yeah, I'm pretty, like, what is hard for me is that I need someone whom I would be a good match with, because I think it's not really, like, I don't want this to, like in German we have a word for this. This is kind of like the photography language or the picture language to be completely different from what I do personally with my photography. So yeah, I would love this to be kind of like a similar style, but you know, I still would like my work to be seen from someone else's perspective, so I'm not too biased, and you know, portray my work in a kind of neutral way. And of course, I would also like to be in the pictures, so that's why I'm not able to take the pictures myself. So yeah, if you know someone who is local to me, I'm in Hamburg, northern Germany, and would be happy to help me with this, and would have capacities in the next 3 months, then yeah, feel free to reach out or, you know, poke that person and ask to tell me. And that's for the admin thing. Just one last thing, because I thought, you know, why not ask the audience? I need a new needle organizer, and I was wondering if you have a favorite one, because I do have one that was actually handmade for me some years ago and I love it. The only thing is that I realize I'm reaching for I'm reaching for so many different needles at the same time, because when I'm not knitting only my samples or my personal knits, I'm constantly like developing new yarns, and I'm kind of always having some needles that I occupy with swatches or whatever. And I don't know, by now I have almost double of all of my favorite needle sizes, and then I have shorties for the sleeves and another shorty set for like the smaller sizes of the sleeves. And I constantly like am looking for the right needles, and I kind of feel like I have 3, 4 different pouches I keep them in, and it's like a mess. And I need an organizer that fits at least 2 or even 3 of the small Jule sets. By small, I mean not the complete collection, but like 5 or 6 pairs. So yeah, if you have like a massive, huge needle suitcase storage thingy that you can recommend, best case would be if it's like from another small business, because I love to support other small businesses. Yeah, then please let me know, because most of the ones I was checking on, they fit like one set and maybe 1 or 2 more, and then they often have pouches or compartments for like heavier needles, which doesn't really make sense to me because I never knit with anything larger than 5mm needles, so I don't really use those. So yeah, it would need to be like a massive needle holding kind of piece, and it would be great if it has a lot of pockets, like a lot of pockets, so I could put all my needles in and have them all in one place. That would be my dream. So if anyone could think of something suitable for me, please let me know, and I would love to purchase it. Yeah, so I guess that is all of my rambling stuff. I'm just checking my notes 1 second again, so I didn't forget anything. But yeah, end of the admin section. Thank you so much for sticking around if you've made it this far. This was a really long and rambly episode, but it kind of felt really nice to catch up with you folks, and I can't wait for the next one. I do want to be very, I'm determined to do more podcast episodes, and I want to show up more here. So yeah, I hope that you don't mind this episode being a bit longer. I hope you are going to, be inspired by some of the projects I shared maybe. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next one, I guess. Happy knitting. Bye.